Alison Victoria was once the face of high-end renovation on HGTv. Her show, Windy City Rehab, captured the imagination of viewers who loved watching her transform Chicago properties into luxury homes. She became known for bold designs, confident style, and an on-camera personality that seemed unstoppable. But behind the glamour, a hidden storm was building, one that would expose dangerous construction violations, trigger multiple lawsuits, and ultimately destroy her partnership with contractor Donovan Ehart. What began as a dream career quickly became a nightmare. This is the full story of Alison Victoria's rise, her fall, and the difficult rebuilding process that followed. No embellishments, no exaggerations, just the facts and the human cost behind a scandal that rocked reality television. The perfect beginning. Windy City Rehab becomes a hit. In January 2019, Windy City Rehab premiered on HGTv and became an instant sensation. The show focused on luxury renovations in Chicago, blending high-end design with dramatic transformations. Alison Victoria and contractor Donovan Ehart appeared as a powerful duo. Her creative vision and his construction skills seemed like the perfect match. Viewers loved the chemistry, the stunning homes, and the fast-paced renovation work. But the success was built on a shaky foundation. Behind the scenes, construction standards were being ignored, and legal issues were quietly mounting. What the audience saw as effortless renovation was actually a complex web of permits, contracts, and risky construction practices that would soon explode into public scandal. The first cracks, violations, and stop work orders. Just months after the show's success, trouble began to emerge. The Chicago Department of Buildings revealed that Donovan Ehart's company, Graymark Development Group, had conducted work without permits at 11 different properties. Investigators reported unsafe conditions, including structures being dismantled without protective measures, putting workers and residents at risk. Over a dozen projects were stopped by the city, and more than 10 stop work orders were issued. In July 2019, Ehart's building permit was suspended for 45 days after an appeal shortened what was initially a year-long penalty. While the public began to notice, Alison Victoria claimed she was unaware of the violations until the news broke. She insisted she was shocked to learn that many projects had not been properly inspected or approved, and she said the technical details were outside her expertise as a designer. The relationship begins to break down. On screen by 2020, the strain began to show on camera. In Season 2, viewers watched Alison confront Donovan repeatedly over money problems, project delays, and legal issues. She was shown stopping work on projects and trying to manage the chaos, often while visibly emotional. One of the most haunting moments came when the cameras caught her crying in the middle of an abandoned construction site. The emotional breakdown felt real, not staged. The show's tone shifted from renovation excitement to a more desperate struggle to stay afloat. This was no longer just about design, it was about survival. Alison's public image shifted from confident designer to a woman overwhelmed by problems she did not cause, but could not escape. The Morrissey lawsuit, a nightmare begins. The first major lawsuit came from the Morrissey family, who bought a $1.36 million home renovated in Season 1. After moving in, they discovered a leaking kitchen ceiling caused by a faulty upstairs bathroom. Roof systems leaked, brick walls peeled, and windows failed to close properly. In December 2019, the family sued Alison Victoria, Donovan Ehart, and all related companies for consumer fraud, breach of contract, and negligent work. Alison said she was pulled into the lawsuit because she was a shareholder in the company. But to protect her personal reputation and brand, she reportedly spent about $700,000 of her own money to fix the damages, essentially paying for her former partner's mistakes. The lawsuit settled in December 2021 under a confidentiality agreement, but the financial and emotional damage had already been done. More lawsuits and mounting financial loss. The Morrissey case was not an isolated incident. Over the next 2 years, Alison and Donovan faced at least 3 more lawsuits from clients, investors, and acquaintances. Another case involved Shane Jones and Samantha Mustachio, who bought a $1.3 million home renovated by the duo. They claimed dangerous electrical and structural defects, devalued property, and unsafe living conditions. A third lawsuit came from investors who had poured $3 million into a renovation project, accusing the pair of misusing funds and misrepresenting their expertise. Each lawsuit intensified the pressure on Alison, who was not only legally exposed, but also emotionally devastated by the public fallout. She later admitted that the scandal cost her almost everything she'd built in 15 years. The breakup. Alison takes control. Faced with the prospect of continuing with Donovan, Alison made a difficult decision. She began taking legal steps to protect herself and her future. Their partnership ended, but the consequences were far more than personal. The breakup marked the beginning of a long chain of events that reshaped their careers, their reputations, and the show itself. Alison's public image became that of a woman dragged into chaos, while Donovan was portrayed as the villain. But the truth was far more complicated. While Alison tried to regain control, Donovan chose to fight back, claiming he was unfairly portrayed and arguing that the show edited scenes to make him look responsible. Donovan's lawsuit against the producers. In January 2021, Donovan Ehart sued Discovery Incorporated and Big Table Media for defamation, claiming the producers manipulated footage to create a villainous version of him. He demanded $2.2 million in damages. In the lawsuit, Donovan claimed the show staged scenes, controlled his dialogue, and directed his facial expressions to paint him as the cause of the construction failures. He argued that he did not embezzle funds and that all expenses were approved by the production company. One key piece of evidence he cited was his employment contract, which reportedly paid him only $3,500 per episode, a low amount compared to the show's success. The contract also restricted him from speaking publicly during airing, leaving him unable to defend himself. Personal loss and emotional recovery. During this turbulent period, Alison also suffered personal tragedy. In January 2021, her father passed away. The loss came at a time when she was already under intense public pressure and financial stress. She later shared that her father's death affected her deeply, making it difficult to maintain the strong persona she once had. It became a turning point. She began prioritizing health, reducing workload, and being more selective about projects. In 2023, she publicly announced her relationship with director Brant Anderson. Unlike her previous associations, Anderson was not involved in construction or television, providing a stable support system. This relationship signaled a new chapter, one defined by balance and emotional healing. Rebuilding a business. The birth of Briefly Gorgeous. Alison didn't just recover, she reinvented herself. In early 2024, she launched her own design firm, Briefly Gorgeous, operating independently from HGTv. The company focuses on custom luxury design contracts in major cities, with a clear emphasis on transparency and professional standards. Unlike her earlier investment-based model, Alison now works directly with clients under detailed contracts, reducing risk and improving accountability. She also diversified her media presence by appearing on design competition shows like Battle on the Beach and Rock the Block, shifting her focus from drama to design expertise. The goal was clear: rebuild her brand around professional credibility, not reality TV spectacle. A new path forward: the Las Vegas expansion. By 2025, Alison began expanding beyond Chicago. She started new projects in Las Vegas, where she had lived and studied before her television career. A potential spin-off series focusing on Vegas renovations was rumored to be under consideration by HGTv. Whether or not it airs, the move signals her intention to grow beyond the Windy City identity. Her strategy now is to build a long-term business, not rely on media fame. With centralized project management and outsourced construction teams under strict quality control, she is creating a more sustainable model. Alison is no longer defined by scandal. She is defined by design. Outrow, from scandal to strength. Alison Victoria's journey is a powerful reminder that success can be fragile and that fame can quickly turn into a trap. She rose to the top of reality television, only to face legal battles, financial ruin, and emotional collapse. But she did not disappear. Instead, she chose to rebuild, not as a celebrity, but as a professional. She shifted her focus from risky investments to client-based design, rebuilt her business, and found stability in her personal life. The story of Windy City Rehab may be marked by scandal, but Alison Victoria's true legacy is her resilience. She survived the fall, and she is still standing.